If any of you have seen my other videos, or if you know me in real life, it's not a surprise that I love the show Prison Break. So apparently Fox decided to partner with a company called Zootfly to make Prison Break the Conspiracy, which is a stealth game with some action involved in it as well. So this review is going over the campaign, and of course I will be spoiling the show and the game, which, obviously, because how else am I supposed to make this video? In this game, you play as Tom Paxton, a company agent who is apparently ex-US Army, yet he still speaks in his voice recorder that he somehow has at the most inappropriate times for the entirety of this game.
Officially, I don't exist. I'm an agent for the company, an organization who keeps the world stable by controlling economies and telling countries not to blow each other up. Burrows is a small pawn in a bigger game. The company needs him to go on ice, on schedule, and that's what's gonna happen. My mission is to observe and report, but you don't send a guy like me to a place like this unless you're expecting to see some blood spilled. Here's hoping it's not mine. One thing about Scofield, his tattoo. Looks more like a Southside banger than a structural engineer. Schofield's planning a prison break. No details yet. I gotta tell Mannix. Bellick is pumping teats in exchange for protection. I've gotta get my hands on that letter. I made it into PI. Now I can keep an eye on Scofield and figure out what he's up to. Something is brewing. Whites and blacks are gonna go at each other real soon. I gotta watch my back. Scofield wants Pugnac, insulin blocker. Nothing in his file about that, so he must be up to something in the infirmary. I gotta check that out. Scofield is diabetic. Comes every day for insulin shots. So what's with the Pugnac? He's faking it. The infirmary is part of his plan somehow. I gotta phone this into Mannix. I've got the lockpick, so I'm ready to go after the Pugnac for C-Note. Next stop, Crazy Town. Mannix still wants more on Scofield. I saw Sucre and Scofield arguing during the riot, and now Sucre is moving in with me. Maybe I can pump him for information. I'm on the right track. I'll get a one-on-one with Scofield after I switch Haywire's meds with rat poison. Maybe I can bluff Scofield into revealing more about his plans. Scofield and Burrows are talking with Abruzzi. Maybe I can get something to report back to Mannix, one of Scofield's cranes, and a setup to corrode the pipe. That's why Scofield's coming in here. This is the escape route.
Paxton!
Scofield set off the alarms just to see how the guards would respond. He must still be planning his route. I've got to get the prison blueprints and compare them to Haywire's drawings. It's a full-scale riot. Scofield might have started it as a cover for his breakout. I've got to find him and Burrows. They're drilling their way out. I got to reach Burrows and cut him off. Someone sent Turk in here to kill me and Burrows. It makes no sense, but I'll work on it later. Gotta stop the escape first. I thought the riot was the prison break, but it was just a smokescreen to give Abruzzi and Sucre time to drill that wall. I've still got a little time. Maybe I can use it to figure out who hired Turk to kill me. Mannix sounded strange on the phone, but his orders were pretty clear. I need to sneak into the warden's office and forge a work order. Skid if I want to find out who hired Turk to kill me and Burrows. So far, so good. Scofield and Burrows are still on the inside, and soon I'll know who hired Turk to kill me. My PI card fell under the grate. I'll have to come back for it after the heat dies down. Everything has changed. The company wants Burrows dead, but Mannix told me to keep him alive. He set me up from the start. Then he sent Turk in to kill me. The question is, why? I've got some dirt on him, but in this business, we all have dirt on each other. I guess the only way to find out is to complete the mission, kill Burrows, and then get out and confront Mannix. Get into his cell to see how he's gonna get out. Plus, I gotta get a guard's uniform and stash it in the sewers. I don't know what those guys are planning, but it can't hurt to be wearing a guard's uniform during a manhunt.
It'll be expensive. How can we raise the money,
I'll get the uniform later. Scofield's in the asylum, and I need to be the guy who gets his cell. Next stop, Officer Geary. Next up is stealing a guard's uniform from the laundry. I need a photo ID, and the only one I got is in the boiler room drain. I've destroyed my prison records, and Aldo is erasing my company files. I'm the man who doesn't exist. The ghost in the system. When Mannix comes to get Burrows, I'll be ready for him. My company records have been erased. Aldo kept his promise.
Oh my god! Abruzzi is back!
First of all, Tom Paxton is not a character in the original show, and neither is Jack Mannix. Second, how the hell did Paxton even get the recorder into prison? Michael Scofield did have a tape recorder and watching stuff at some point in season 1, as that was crucial to his breakout. But let's not forget that it was part of his belongings that he was supposed to get back by the end of his sentence. And to get that, he had to go into the pipes and sneak into the locker to retrieve them. Paxton clearly does not go through the trouble of that, because at the start, he is told that his mission is to observe and report, even though he did say, when you send a guy like me to prison, you expect bloodshed. it still doesn't imply that he'd be going into the pipes and, like, dealing with all that crap. So basically, he somehow snuck a tape recorder in a maximum security prison.
The closest level 1 facility to...
Level 1? That's maximum security, Your Honor.
In season 1 of Prison Break, on the second or third episode, the company realizes that there's something off about Michael getting arrested, because he's a successful structural engineer, and then, he just randomly gets in prison. And coincidentally, it's very close to Lincoln's execution, and they happen to be half-brothers. So as a result of this, there is an attempt to transfer Michael, but it fails because Michael uses a legal loophole to delay the transfer. And that basically just results in the company giving up on that and, moving on, trying to find, a different strategy. The company does not send an agent to Fox River at all at this point in the show. The closest they get to that is by paying off Turk, who's a prisoner, to kill Lincoln during the prison riot, or by having Kellerman and Hale visit the warden and blackmail him into transferring Michael. None of that actually worked because Michael ended up staying until the escape, and Lincoln accidentally killed Turk.
Why are you doing this? Who sent you? Why?
One thing that makes me laugh is how the second Paxton gets incarcerated, he immediately gets suspicious of Michael's tattoos. Not just that, but he even asks people about them, and he's not even trying to be subtle about it.
What about the new guy, Scofield?
What about him?
His tattoo. What's with him and his tattoos?
He's local, man.
I'd like to get a better look at him. They look like real art.
If you think that's bad enough, Paxton pulled at Edward Cullen,
I like watching you sleep.
and he must have been creepily stalking Michael and memorizing his tattoos, because we have a mini-map available somehow. Speaking of Edward Cullen, stay tuned until next week. Oh god, I'm not looking forward to that. Or I am looking forward to that. Wait, what? I'm sorry, I'm going off script now, aren't I? Sorry. Okay, so, not even Mahone could figure out the tattoos that fast. Now, I'm sure someone's gonna mention Haywire, but to be fair, Haywire was originally interested in how cool Michael's tattoos looked, and it also took him some time to figure out that they were actually a map, and they took him a bit longer to figure out that it's of the prison. Even then, no one would have believed him for it anyway, because he was a lunatic. Everyone thought he was a lunatic, at least.
Oh, he was just in prison because he was a lunatic. What did he do?
Did he eat somebody?
Can we also talk about how the prison is designed like a freaking playground? Seriously, Michael Scofield must have been a pretty terrible structural engineer since he was responsible for renovating the prison. I mean, look at this. Paxton has free roam of the prison. This is supposed to be maximum security. I don't even think that county jail would have all this anyway. So, yeah, devs got lazy with that. I mean, if anything, we shouldn't even be playing as Paxton. We should be playing as Scofield trying to break out. Look, I wish we could have that epic game, alright? Where we're playing as Scofield and we have to fight the company and all that. I wish that's how it was, okay? One more thing I need to say is how they botched the most iconic scene from season 1.
Michael. Why?
Let's go, man. Come on.
I'm getting you out of here.
Come on. Burrows, roll it up. Happy hour's over.
It's impossible.
Not if you design the place, it isn't.
This was the scene that played during several of the recaps in season 1. This was the scene that is permanently burned into every Prison Break fan's memory. This is iconic. That's how iconic it is. It's really iconic, and it was well acted and directed. Now let's look at the game version of the scene.
Michael? What the hell are you doing here?
Roll it up, Burrows.
I'm breaking you out, Link.
Impossible.
Not if you design the place. But first, I gotta get into prison industries.
Burrows, I said move your ass.
First of all, wrong location, okay? It's supposed to take place in the chapel. Second, the guard is close enough to hear Michael announce that he's breaking Link out, but he doesn't hear them. However, Paxton is way farther from the brothers, but somehow he's able to hear them. Third, Lincoln was clearly emotional and shaken up when he finds Michael incarcerated in the show, but it just does not seem like that here, especially since Link's only lines are,
Michael? What the hell are you doing here?
and
Impossible.
the line delivery isn't the issue here. It's the fact that this scene is it's rushed, and that goes on the developers. I cannot blame the actors here at all. If anything, I am so sad that they did not get more screen time. If anything, this entire game should have been you playing as Scofield, but whatever. If there's one thing the show was good at, it they took care of their characters, and they kept making them more interesting. It wasn't like Riverdale, where it's like halfway into season 2, like, these characters just, you hate them now. Like, seriously. It would have been cool for these guys to have more screen time. Another scene that was botched was the escape scene. In the show, the escape team needs to go through the pipes, go to the psych ward, then get to infirmary from that building. In the show, they go through the pipes and get on the roof somehow, and that's not how it works. Also, the first person to get across the wire was Lincoln, and Michael was the last to cross. And this is not counting Sucre's cousin since he fell off. So in Season 1, it's a big deal that John Abruzzi is in jail because he's a mob boss, and that he's in jail because of some Fibonacci dude. Apparently, the devs forgot about that, and John Abruzzi is in jail now because Mannix sold him out. This whole thing with Fibonacci is pretty important to the escape, because it's Michael's bargaining chip, since he knows where the guy is, and Abruzzi is helping with the escape because he needs to know that. Also, how the hell did Abruzzi get a lockpick in prison? This isn't Splinter Cell. He's a prisoner. No, he's not Sam Fisher from the NSA. I guess he must have snuck it in when he came, just like how Paxton got his tape recorder there, because apparently, this level 1 facility, maximum security, is not really that secure. Man, maybe Bella could actually do his job rather than dip his fries in Coke. Like some idiot, some sociopathic idiot.
That's good.
And now for the rapid fire round.
What are you doing? They catch you here, you'll be in the shoe for months.
Thanks, old man.
Charles Westmoreland would not have done that in the original show, because in the original show, he was the one who didn't want any trouble. The fact that he's actually waiting in that area, when he said that Paxton is not supposed to be in, it's kind of sus if you ask me.
What happened?
Cut myself shaving.
Of course you did. Looks like it might be infected. We'll need to keep you overnight in sickbay.
Dr. Tancredi!
Ladies, gentlemen, and genderqueer friends, let me once again remind you that that Secret Service and company agent Thomas Paxton is ex-army. How is he dumb enough to say that he cut himself shaving when his body language indicates that he's dizzy and was in a fight or is high on drugs or something? This does not happen as a result of shaving. If you get dizzy from cutting yourself shaving, you probably need to get diagnosed for a blood disease or something.
Zero! We got a runner. Inmate Michael Scofield. I repeat, inmate Scofield. Call Michael. Is missing from his cell.
How did they figure out that Michael was missing? Because on their rounds, they figured out that he wasn't in his cell. Paxton is also obviously not in his cell at the same time as Michael. So how come no one's freaking out over Paxton as well? Like, seriously.
Don't talk much, do you?
And you don't shut up. This is prison. I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah, Michael Scofield would not be this aggressive to someone casually making conversation in the original show. The only good thing about this dialogue exchange is that Michael had screen time here. So there's just one bit of the game that really really makes me laugh because how stupid it was. And yes, I'm fully aware that I'm 100% not the first to notice this. In the segment when Paxton finds out that Turk was hired to kill him and Link, he finds out like this.
Kill Burrows and Paxton? What the hell?
The fact that this dude needed to write down the names of the 2 people that he had to take out is messed up. It makes sense if he was hired to kill multiple people, but come on, like, how do you not remember the names of 2 people you're hired to kill? And why write it down? That's risky. Honestly, CallMeKevin's reaction to this was genuinely funny. I have his videos on the game linked in the description if anyone wants to watch them. His commentary is really funny throughout. I would recommend watching them.
Why did he even have that note on it? Like, just in case I forget, I better write them down. It's like if you have 2 people to kill, you'd think you'd just be able to memorize that. Paxton and Lincoln.
Tom Paxton and Lincoln Burrows aren't hard names to remember at all. If anything, they're way easier to remember compared to my name, which I'm not going to say. But, yeah. Tom Paxton is pretty generic as well. Even then, Lincoln Burrows is the same dude that's plastered all over the news because of this Terrence Steadman assassination, but not really drama. So my idea of the perfect game, I've said this I've been hinting at it. It's, yeah, you're playing primarily as Michael Scofield, but every now and then you would switch between some of the other characters. Like, for example, you would be playing as Sara during the final break, and you'd have the player switch between Michael and Lincoln during the last half of Season 4. Because, they're against each other for recovering Scylla. The game would actually need to be accurate to the show and not have dumb crap like Paxton speaking into his voice recorder at the worst times possible or anything like that. And a major bonus would be having the actors for the show come back to voice their characters in the game as well. Which, to be fair, the game did that for the majority of the characters except Sara Tancredi, Charles Westmoreland, sorry. Westmoreland. Oh my god, why did I struggle so much on that? And Haywire. I highly doubt that Fox is going to consider making another Prison Break game because the show ended in 2017, the actors are done with it, and to be fair, that's where the story needs to end. However, it would be nice if they found a decent developer, like, okay, I might get some hate for this, EA or Ubisoft. I do know that they do have the capabilities to make a game like this. I do know that they are capable of doing that. Like making a decent game like that. Obviously, microtransactions, that's what I'm scared about, but I do think it would be a good game if either of the two made it. And honestly, look, Prison Break, it deserves a proper game. Okay, the show was really good. There's no point to Season 6. I don't even want Season 6, because the story's finished, but give us a real Prison Break game. When we were playing through the entire show, you're escaping from Fox River, you're dealing with the company, you're recovering Sully, you're escaping from Sona, you're getting Sara out of prison, and you're dealing with 21 Void, okay? We want all of that in the Prison Break game. And we want to play as the actual characters. We want the show to be accurate. We want the game to be accurate. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I've got to give credit where it's due, so credit to Fox and Zootfly for the scenes from Prison Break: The Conspiracy that I used. And again for Fox, credit for the scenes from the actual show, Prison Break. Credit to CallMeKevin for the clip from his video on Prison Break: The Conspiracy. Again, it is linked down in the description. And credit to Pro100 Gaming. They had a video that had all the cutscenes from this game. So credit for that. That's where I got that's where I recorded the cutscenes from because I did not want to have to play the entire game. So yeah, that video is also gonna be linked down in the description. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.